can share with everyone a little bit about your journey. How did you get into real estate investing, and then how did you become a coach in the RE mentor community?
Sure. So I had gotten started because actually Craig said to me one day, I'd known Craig since the fourth grade.
Oh,
And he
wow.
said, yeah, so I was watching him. I was in corporate America. He didn't know I was watching him, but I was watching him do he had a few different little deals that he did, a few multifamilies, three families. And one day he just said to me, hey, I'm doing multifamilies, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, hey, the next time I find a good deal, is that something you might want to take a look at with me? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I was chomping at the bit because he didn't know I'd been watching him the whole time, hoping, but he had a business partner, so I never mentioned anything. So long story short, that happened. Saw an infomercial on flipping properties. We went to a seminar. They said, go to your local real estate club meetings. We went to 3 of them. We tripled everything they told us to do because we wanted out of corporate America. I was an engineer, he's in sales. And one of them was Dave Lindahl's. His was the furthest away, over an hour away. And we didn't know who he was. We just know we wanted to go to the closest real estate club meetings. So we went there, got to know Dave. We would help people while we were there. In the single family, I started off with wholesaling and flipping properties. And so we're at the event and got to know him. I actually took on his courses to get into the larger buildings. And then, after a couple of years, he asked us, hey, I'm starting this program. I'd like you guys to be my first 2 coaches. So that's pretty much how I got involved in doing that, just going out there, networking, doing what you're supposed to be doing and sharing and trying to help people, and just that opportunity opened up.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's probably about when I first heard him speak. I believe I first heard him spoke in 2003. So I got started in real estate in 2002, heard him spoke in 2003, bought his apartment riches course back
Yes.
then. And yeah, here we are like years
Tim, the
later.
funny part is that hotel we were at for the event we were just at, it was a mile away from there that he hosted his event. And that's where we first met Dave. Didn't know who he was, like I said, but that's how we got to know him. But yeah, so you've been in it a little bit longer than I have. And I actually met Dave in 2004. And
Okay.
so, yeah, you got him right at the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. Very cool. Along the way, how did you become known as the underwriting expert?
Yeah, so when I started Dave's program, I just love numbers. I have an engineering background. I went to school for engineering before I got out of corporate America. I was in a computer company, a thermal engineer. Just love numbers, what I like to do. So my business partner, he did the front end, I did the back. We focused on our strengths. And when Dave took that on, I just love the numbers. I kept on optimizing the underwriting template to what it is today. And so I was the one that kept on optimizing it, make it better, adding performers on it and so forth. So we've been using my template pretty much since the beginning. We started 19 years ago with the program. Everyone uses that. That's what they train on now. And that's how I got detailed. Dave's a high level guy. So I actually even reviewed his stuff when he first started going out, because he used to call me, you're my engineer, because I was the details. He didn't like getting to know all the cracks where I did. So it's funny. And I just love doing it. That's how I got known to be the number cruncher, the underwriter. And then I started my own program just last year as well.
Yeah. And one of the things that's very interesting, because a lot of people who love the underwriting side where they go deep into underwriting, they usually don't take on capital raising unless it's like a necessary evil. It's their own
Yes.
deal. They gotta help raise money for this deal. But you actually play both sides of that. You do the underwriting really well.
Yes.
Then you also do the capital raising really well. What is it about your personality that allows for both to be able to get good?
Yeah, so I was an extrovert. I just like talking to people. My partner was an introvert. And so I would go up and talk to everyone, and then I'd bring him over because after I wanted to meet everybody. So I would only talk 5 or 10 minutes, but if I found someone good, I'd bring him over to it. So when we started, and I share this when I coach, focus on your strengths, because if you love doing something, you're going to get really good at it. And there's different capital raising, underwriting, talking to brokers, whatever part of the business you're in or that you love. So he was doing more of the front end stuff and I was doing more of the back end. But I also say is, doesn't mean you don't learn everything else. And everyone has a network, right? So he had his network, I had my network, and we combined since we're from the same area. So it's nice when 2 people are doing something, get a little bit more credibility. So just sharing. I didn't really go out there and pitch people. I was more just sharing what I did and how I was excited about it in the background, and just kept on filling the funnel as we went, because I didn't have to go out there and do that. So that's how it morphed in. So I kept on learning that more. And on the sales side, and I always had an entrepreneurial spirit, but I wasn't the visionary because I was the details guy. I'm like 30% entrepreneurial and then 70% of being the right-hand man person. So that's how it all happened. And then we kind of, over time, meshed in the middle, where he did more of that underwriting and then I learned more of the front end, and then both became good at everything and just divided and conquered. Because when you're doing some of the same things, obviously it's not efficient.
Yeah, that's really good. It's interesting to hear an extrovert who loves the numbers crunching,
I'm not
writing. That's
normal. I
like
never said that. I know I don't fit the common mold, and I don't know what happened. It's funny at our school because I went to Worcester Polytech and MIT. Everyone knows MIT is the best or one of the best engineering, but a lot of people joke around and said people from WPI manage the people, even though they did better in school and everything. We managed them because we were more well rounded. That was WPI's model sort of thing. So it's you need both types. You need people that can be extrovert and understand so they can explain it to other people, or some people just want to be behind totally. And that's what's great about this business is find the people that focus on your strengths, delegate your weaknesses.
Yep. Let's talk about that. You
Yeah.
have coached over 1,800 people. That's a lot of
Mhm.
students you've coached. And I'm
Yeah.
sure you have had students all spectrums of success, right? From ones who never took action and didn't do anything to ones that have probably bought hundreds of millions of real estate. And let's talk about some of what you
Sure.
have found to worked well for students, the one that succeed, and then also what didn't work for the ones that didn't succeed.
Sure.
I know it's a big one, but we can take it in bite
See
size.
this a bunch of times, so I'm ready for it. Because it's everyone wants the magic sauce, right? And what's going on, what takes it to be successful. And it really isn't the real estate stuff. It's really people have a hard time when they're going from corporate America when they have a boss, right? So owning your own business is a double-edged sword. It's the great because you have the flexibility being your own boss. You only have to answer to yourself. The bad part is you only have to answer to yourself, right? Everyone's busy. All 1,800 plus people were busy. My mom's busy. She's retired. And I always tell people, busy doing what? I tell them, you paid a lot of money for this program. What's your commitment? What's going to happen as far as what are you going to commit? How many hours do you want to commit? And get that on your schedule. Because if you want to treat it like a hobby, you're going to get paid like a hobby, right? And that's just reality. If the grass is greener where you water it, right? So if you're not putting the time in consistently, whether it's your health, going to the gym or whatever, you're not going to make the progress. You're not going to get the momentum. So that's one thing. The other thing is, so getting a calendar, running business hours, to be honest, that's the number one thing where the people don't have success because people ask me, what's the percentage? Everyone wants to know when they come. What's the percentage to see if this is going to work for them? I say 100%. They're like, what? There's no way. You're full of it. I said, yeah, 100% of the people that want to. And I said, but you'll be successful. If you keep doing the things you're supposed to be doing on a regular basis, you'll be successful. I can't tell you if it's in 2 months, 4 months, but you will be successful. So that's one big thing. And then being coachable. Some people want to go and reinvent the wheel. They go off and do all these other things. And I'd ask them, I'm known to be a little bit of a stickler because they pay for accountability. So I'm going to give it to them. Right. And it's, what did you do the last couple of weeks? And did you do the stuff that I sent you? I've been coaching for 18 years. I'm handing it to you on a silver platter. And then some people want to go off and listen to 20 audios. Why? Because it's easier. They don't want to get on the phone or stuff like that. So I guess that's the biggest thing is just treating it like a business and being coachable are the number one and number two things that I find to be people being successful.
Oh, that's so good. Yeah. Yeah. They don't realize what it means to treat it as a business. Yeah. If you look at anyone in sports, right, there's playing sports in elementary school
Yeah,
where you don't have to get very serious, right? But as you go to middle school, it gets more serious. You have to have a little bit more discipline. And then you get to high school and if you're on the team, now you have to get much more serious, right? And then you go
yeah.
to college level. Now you're almost like pro level serious. And then you make it to pro level, right? So business success works the same way.
Mhm.
And how disciplined you are, how much of a pro you want to be, because maybe to you it could be success means I'm gonna get, let's say, 100 doors that I own free and clear, right? That might be success to you. Or your success could be I want to have 100,000 doors in a syndication with syndicated partners, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be certain numbers. But the bigger your goal, the more pro level you have to play the game. And one of the things I have to constantly remind myself too, because as business owners, it's very easy for us to beat ourselves up. A big part of success, a huge part of success, is just willing to do it again tomorrow. That's
Mhm.
it. Like
I agree. Yeah.
willing to do
So
it again next day.
you got people on both ends of the camp, right? You get the ones that are really driven, beat themselves up. So I talk them off the ledge a little bit. Then you get the other ones I'm tugging along to say, let's go.
Yeah. I want to also talk about, have you seen the ones that, if they're going to succeed, you see them start to succeed pretty quickly? Or do you see any kind of like drag low, go for a while, not much activities, and all of a sudden something happened and it's boom, they're off to the races? What,
Yeah.
what have you seen?
My most successful people are committed out of the gate, the ones that have the fastest success. They're just committed. They're getting their schedule in order. The number one thing, if you don't have that 10 hours or whatever, I don't tell them how many hours. I say, look at your schedule, look at your calendar, make it realistic. Because some people, I'm going to put 40 hours a week. And they run for 2 weeks and then they're done because they skipped everything else in their life. But the people that come out, they're realistic, they get that on their schedule and they do the things they're supposed to be doing, they have that. And then I have some people that are a little bit slow to start and they have some other things going on, but I commend them for starting because nothing like just getting started. And their goals might not be the same. They can only commit so much. I'm like, great, you're creating a plan B. Let's get you there. You're going to have options for yourself now and for your family. So let's do what you can do, meet people where they're at. And then that's what will happen to them, Tim, is they'll go to something, but staying plugged in. I always highly recommend to get momentum, like to these sort of meetings or any type of group sessions, because you're going to get one nugget that changes your life. Just that one, because it gives you that inspiration. You hear someone's story and say, oh man, I can resonate with that. Their belief level goes up. So plugging in. And so, yeah, if they're plugged in and they're doing the things, what kills me the most is they'll go to an event, they'll talk to someone like Jeannie or someone else there, right? And they come back, they're all excited and say, Jeannie told me to do this. I'm so excited. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I've been telling you that for 4 months. And she'll do the same thing. And we joke around about it because she'll have some people, she tells them for 4 months, they'll see me. And they go back to her. And so it's basically the coach is there when the student's ready to listen. But that's always a funny thing.
Yeah, it works the same way with kids. We can't tell we can tell our kids the exact same thing, but when they hear it from another parent, like their friend's parents or something, all of a sudden it just clicked for them.
It kills me every time. I'm like, when someone says it, but that's a great part about being around the industry because they know it subconsciously because they've been hearing it, but they just say it a little bit differently and it just resonates with the timing. So that's the beauty of just staying, like I said, staying plugged in. Just kidding.